A guild by direct definition is a community of players who are trying to accomplish a common goal. They also serve as a bastion for new players, so that way they can learn from veterans instead of relying on the wiki. They're an appropriate addition to many online communities who can foster a sense of belonging and tackle endgame content. Now, gacha games by definition are the literal junk food of video games. Imagine it's like eating a chocolate bar. It comes with its moments of joy and regrets. You know you shouldn't have more than one, but the waifus are way too tempting. And before you realize it, you have gacha diabetes and log into 10 separate games a day. Maybe we should call it gacha beaties. Regardless, mobile games are growing in quality exponentially. And hey, who doesn't want to try out a new free game? When you put the idea of guilds and gacha together, you get a daycare. Your one stop of accountability and frustration. It's a great way to get players to log in, especially when they can keep your guild leader hostage. I don't think this video topic has been done before. There's plenty of videos on how guilds operate specifically within each gacha game, but nothing that's directly over-encompassing. As a content creator, I've ran my fair share of gacha guilds for better or for worse. So, in this video, we're going to cover the lifespan of gacha guilds and how they work. How well do gacha games and guild culture mix? Do they have a solid foundation, or does the barrel fall out when there's something new to play? Go ahead and get comfortable as we cover the emotional roller coaster of gacha guild culture. I'm gonna let you know right away, organizing gacha guilds suck. It's like you're working with a bunch of people who are stuck on their phones. Because they are stuck on their phones! Guilds do well in multiplayer games that want you to play longer than 10 minutes a day. You can reconnect with people and chat about how the day went. Gacha games don't opt in for this culture. Therefore, they're meant to be a quick fix of logging in for dailies and being done. It's pretty hard to work with people you only see for 5 minutes a day. Now, mileage may vary with how much you can connect with your guild. Sometimes they have an exclusive chat where you can talk to others, but you're better off just making a Discord. Even still, having a guild chat of any sort isn't a negative. That way, it doesn't feel as lonely when you log in. You have a community you can talk to, and who doesn't want that? Some gacha games will even send an in-game notification to the game chat when you pull a rare character. That way your members can celebrate when you pop off, or laugh at you for getting a bad character. Guilds typically want you to log in to complete a routine task, and this task can be finished either on a daily or a weekly basis. And when you finish those routines, it will level up your guild for new features and rewards that anybody can use. Finally, now people can see how hard I'm working. But the higher the level, the better the rewards. Therefore, it's a common goal for teammates to work towards. Gacha players are used to completing dailies, so finishing guild tasks shouldn't be much of an issue. If they can finish individual dailies, how hard could it be to finish guild dailies? Extremely. You would think that addicting anime games would make guild progression easy. Now, some people will actively contribute so they don't let anyone down. Others rather take the free rewards than jump ship to another guild after they get kicked. You never really know the value of new recruits. And these new people aren't gonna feel much remorse. You can only message them back so many times before you realize that they're ghosting you. And then after 1 week, they'll message you back saying they had a family emergency and couldn't log in. Like what? Can they not use the bathroom? But as someone who works in an HR department, let me give you some advice. You can't let others abuse your empathy, especially in a guild environment. I don't blame people for dropping a game, but don't bring others down with you. At least have the decency to tell people that you're quitting or need a break. If you have ever dealt with something similar, leave a comment down below and tell me about it. I want to know how much more patience you guys have than me. And while you're at it, if you could please drop a like and a sub so I could feed the algorithm monster, it would mean a lot. Now, is this really all that serious? It depends on the game. Girls Frontline 2 has an amazing guild system that provides you an exclusive character for free. Her name is Papasha, and she has a mechanic where she summons a mech to fight for her. With enough effort, you can completely max out this 5-star character and her weapon. This is an excellent example because it's something to work for over time. You gradually help out a guild and progress your own account. If anything, I would say Papa Shot is a symbol of your direct contributions to your guild. The more committed you've been, the more powerful she will become. This kind of exclusive reward should really become normal in the gacha space. Now, what's an example of a bad guild system? You know, people tell me I'm extremely disappointed with this game. I wouldn't say extremely. During the launch of Tower of Fantasy, you could have 150 people in your guild. On top of that, your guild had to pay a weekly rent to even stay afloat. If you did not meet this quota, you would actually start to go down in levels. It's really weird, your guild level going down for not paying rent. On top of that, the store wasn't all that useful, and the only thing you really did together was a daily and a weekly crew mission. It wasn't really much other than just having a crew chat. Guilds need to be more than just doing a daily together. I mean, imagine a daily is like taking out the trash. Taking out the trash with multiple people doesn't exactly make it more fun. Guilds are supposed to be for community-driven activities, but this is the gacha space. Rewards are more preferred than a sense of belonging, and if all the game has going for it is taking out the trash together, you're gonna have a hard time keeping people around. Sometimes guilds will let you borrow characters from other members, but this usually isn't exclusive to just your guildmates. Typically, if a game allows you to pick a support character from someone else, it usually comes from the friends list feature. I mean, guildmate supports still help out, they're just an extension to that. Now, if the game offers raid content where you can only use your guildmates as supports, then we have a different story. Oh right, we haven't really talked about raids yet. Hey, you know what's worse than hoping your members log into the game? Guild attacks. It's guild attacks. So raid content comes in different styles and spans across several days. These are limited time events where you work together with your guild to earn big rewards. Now, in most cases, you contribute in the form of a daily guild attack. With this attack, you inflict as much damage as possible to a boss. Now, some gachas will have a stage system where the boss gradually gets harder over time. No matter the formula, they always come back to the responsibility of each member participating. Depending on the attendance of the guild, you can knock out everything early. Unfortunately, the opposite of that is true as well.
And if you do not participate in the platoon, I will find you down and eat your dog and your cat and your fish and whatever the fuck, right? Do not test me. Do your fucking guild battles and actually log in. Stop playing Pathfinder.
Once raids are over, members will get a bunch of rewards depending on how well they did. They'll get a fat paycheck that they can spend on the guild shop. And the guild shop might have some summons or other upgrades. Regardless, if the game really wants you to keep playing, they'll actually lock the items behind level progression, so you can't buy everything right away. These raids are the make or break moments for the guild, and in order to retain integrity, they won't let you remove members throughout its duration. This is to stop leaders from kicking members before they can get the rewards, even if they aren't logging in. Some games let you bypass this, like Girls Frontline 2 lets you kick members if they haven't logged in for 3 days. So technically, there's still an out if people are freeloading, but if they're logging in and just not doing their attacks, you're kind of out of luck. Okay, I wasn't gonna put this in the video, but check this out. Sorry for the late attacks. I caught a coworker in bed with my wife. Been taking some time off the grid to decompress. Man, you're good? Sorry to hear about that. GG easy. Okay, don't exaggerate, man. You entered her house without knocking. Y'all have been separated for 6 months, and I'm giving her the love you never could. Plus, why did you have to bring it up here? We could have settled this at work. Okay, anyway, let's talk about guild leaders. Guild leaders have it rough. It's a thankless job, and some games don't provide anything to incentivize them. As a content creator, people just assume I'll make a guild, but after making one for Epic 7, Princess Connect, Blue Archive, Girl Cafe Gun, Dragaya Lost, and Tower of Fantasy, I think I'm done. Regardless, please thank your leaders. They're stressed out. Leaders have the responsibility of removing members and recruiting new ones. If they want to share the pain, they can appoint members to a higher rank so they can do the same. Finally, someone else can be just as tired as I am. They also have a feature that lets you auto-accept anyone who applies. Having this feature turned on depends on the circumstances and how desperate you are for new members, especially if the guild is slowly dying. And that's a whole nother thing. Gacha guilds follow a very similar life and death in every game. When the game first launches their guild system, it's the prime time to recruit new members. Around this time, the game is still new, you have an abundance of players, sometimes leaders might get a head start by recruiting before the features even go online, and it's around this time you see people advertising their guilds since there's just a big incentive to start early. Starting early will net you a massive jump in guild experience when the game is the most active. And as mentioned before, experience will raise the level of the guild along with its new features. That alone is a form of advertisement. I mean, why join a level 1 clan who's eating ice soup when this level 2 clan has ramen noodles? And because of that, everyone is funneling in as many players as possible to keep this level high, because if they don't, they'll be on life support for what's next to follow. The middle phase of guild recruitment becomes a bit more shameless. This is where activity has died down a bit and all the tourists have moved on. You can assume that players at this point are willing to commit to a guild if they've played this long. This is where you will find refugees of other clans that have died out. They're looking for a fresh start since their guild couldn't keep up. Imagine you're committed to your clan, but no one else is being held accountable. Refugees have it rough. You wanted the new features, but you realize that your efforts are just getting there very slowly, and you're only helping people who aren't trying. You would definitely want to move on to something more prestigious at that point. In hindsight, you still have to be mindful of moochers during this midpoint. While there are refugees looking for something better, there's also still moochers who have been kicked out for not contributing. It really is still a toss-up of what you're getting at this point. But at the very least, people are logging in, and it's around this time many offline people have been filtered. Now the late phase of gacha guild recruitment is the most interesting. This is where all of the biggest guilds have been established and have hit max level, and everyone else has moved on to the shiny new gacha. Now there aren't any players who are gonna settle for anything less than max level, and any lower level guild won't have much power in recruiting at this point. People aren't worried about how powerful you are during the late phase. They'll take any warm body left that can at least keep the guild active. What used to be a war of performance between guilds will soon become a war of attendance. During this drought, many guilds that are fragmented will opt in to merge with each other, creating a whole new guild entirely. So the real question is, do gacha guilds even work? I'm gonna go a bit off script here. At times, I feel like there could be some good memories out of these communities, but it's hard not to feel like it's just another daily that the company wants you to log in for. Guilds and MMOs don't pressure you to log in as much, but also the rewards aren't as paramount. In gacha guilds, you earn currency to summon characters. Like, that is a big deal. That's what everybody wants. They're like the oil that keeps the machine running, while other games just have rewards like fashions and buffs. When you really stop and think about it, the gacha and guild culture seem like they're on polarizing opposites. Guilds form unity and structure, and gacha players play a new game every month. It's hard to structure unity within a gacha game, as they inevitably just rust away in this aggressive market. Many of the most successful gacha games out there don't even have guild features, so it's not like it's a mandatory feature, it's just something that's frequently implemented. This is what I think about why gacha games implement guild features. It's another thing to push you to log in, and there's a direct correlation between player logins to profit. The more a game can get you to log on, the more opportunities they have to tempt you to swipe. Every gacha game is a phone-sized slot machine that stays in your pocket. Having a reason to passively influence you to log in is still a success to them. In a way, this kind of defeats the whole integrity of what a guild should be. It boils down to just dailies with other people involved. But regardless, I know I'm wrong. Despite everything, that doesn't make it any less of a community. Even if it's for profits. Even if your game dies. Even if everyone moves on to the new best thing, you still had an opportunity to make friends. I still cherish the friendships with guildmates from games I've dropped. There's even a handful of times we became in the same guild again for a different game. Gacha games may be fleeting, but I like to believe those memories you make with other people aren't. Memes aside, I guess the guild really was the friends we made along the way. If you like this video, please subscribe, it means a lot to me, or check out my Twitch stream down below. A lot of the footage from this video actually came from my stream. Other than that, thank you to all the YouTube members we have. We just have one guy right now, but hey, those are open too if you want to support the channel that way. And if you want to check out my other content, here's 2 more videos on the screen for you. Regardless, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.